hopefully welcome back to some of the Status Quo. My name is Melvin. Like I said, you are tuned into the 105.1 FM. It feels best to the mission of decolonization and our friends over at Guam. I hope all of you had a great weekend. If you're like me, you're asking yourself why you didn't find the typical after Mother's Day. It's like the Mother's Day aftermath. You'll be ready for it. I was trying to take quick notes from Spanish audio on this show, and that's what we're talking about. You can have this baby counter right now on Mother's Day, you have the other 364 days, which I think is fair, right? In a natural year society, which would be much better than Mother's Day. I took the mom over to my mom and my mother and family to do our promise, which is nice. We also had a nice little history lesson with my daughter on the way out, because on the way out, you can see the little mountain track. Not probably not going to be able to maybe for her. That was interesting. But we had a busy week. Last week, we helped hosted the Fajito conference, which is the annual meeting conference held by the Commission on Decolonization. And that just led us very into Mother's Day. We should have planned about it, but what better gift to give your mom than a full over self-government? I'm just saying, pretty awesome. For sure, we're doing the thing on the side of this morning because we have some great guests on the air with us this morning. This podcast, we're going to be talking to Dr. Paula Furman, a minute, and the next hour will be welcoming Breaking Waves Theater Company who participated at the Furman Conference. So, anyhow, let's get right to it because I'm just picking on the first hour. I want to just start off with a welcome to Dr. Paula Furman, who is one of the guests at the Fajito Conference, and is studying on ground for the 4 days of his family expertise. So, welcome, Dr. Kevin. Thank you for joining us on the air. It's not always to have you not just here on the radio with us, but your expertise and experience and contributions that you made to the decolonization movement here in Guam, I think is invaluable. So, thank you again for making even more time to spend with us this morning. So we're going to just go ahead and go right into this. We just got off the heels of the 2025 Fajita Conference, and day 2 of the conference, we focused on how Guam can utilize regional and international engagement to further press for self-determination and decolonization. So, you are definitely one of the focal points of the discussion. Or not one of the focal points of the discussion on day 2. And of course, we're trying to, our goal was to really pull from your experience in doing this work with your home nation, the U.S. Virgin Islands, as well as other non-self-governing territories that you advise to. So, in your view, why do you think it is essential for Guam to engage with regional and international forums or institutions as a strategy for achieving a full measure of self-government? Absolutely, I agree. I'm definitely grateful that you made yourself available to hold this discussion. There's quite a bit discussed during the World Health was a major contributor, really led the research effort alongside Dr. Furman. That particular work illustrated the need for extremist negotiators and diplomats because they could be tasked with promoting grounds and meet needs of interests. He also advocated for the establishment of an external engagement office. In your view, how many the establishment of an external engagement office led by the government of Guam was a tool to support one's trust in favor of political I agree. And he was getting people something talking about it and how to run for the state. Dr. Cooper delivered a fantastic overall from the team, which noted another thing to panel about people representative from the upper farm, Timor Leste, looking for the British Virgin Islands. And that's from the British Virgin Islands was the African right to the Timor British Virgin Islands for weakness. Who mentioned quite a few different moments during the time touched on some of the issues that you mentioned. And I was nice to see for our audience to hear from panelists who, I guess the Deputy I think is one that we work very closely because we've been referring for that we self-determination, determination that we put before the United States federal government. But it was really interesting to hear from FFM and the British National Army's experience and really kind of see the ways that they run parallel, right? The FFM experience behind has been successful in attaining political status, permanent political status, within the state location with the United States, and then the base level who is still in the process, but has also successfully considered visiting the country in the nation. I was really happy to hear from the special envoy currently about the experience of leveraging these types of international engagement, regional bodies. And he mentioned he was very deliberate about talking about the value of solidarity between these communities and building relationships with other sovereign states. Utilizing the issues. People that you mentioned that climate change doesn't sound like we're friends here. Thinking about something that is it's a very opportune time for Guam particular specific specific non-self-governing countries. Because the climate change conversation and sustainability conversation is a speed level. And there's a lot of support in the world. And we see how the nations of Mexico have successfully kind of navigated the international environmental issues that they can't be experienced. Do you think that these do you imagine that there are opportunities that Guam can be more deliberate about in regards to, crossover of environment with self-government and sustainability with self-government? Obviously, the defense conversation is just one of those. Right. Mm-hmm. Well, I think that's I know that the level very specific discussions throughout the conference for a lot of comments around. One of the things I really found out in this conversation about regional and international business partnerships, um, and the key about the corporate information that the idea of just using the external organizations and interesting activities. Which I think is kind of really useful. We, I think a lot of people just kind of accept the reality that they don't think engage with, what's going to certain, the sometimes ultimately, unilaterally handle all of our, external information. But that particular talks about this idea of private diplomacy that we can discuss. And so I gotta say that this conference I enjoyed more than most in the country. I made a great effort to be present and listen and participate. Whereas in the past, I feel like I was running around thinking about what's the next thing that needs to be done for the distinctive opportunity. And so I made it, I tried to make it a point to attend all of the panels, but during the breakout session, we have really concerned sessions happening. But I only got picked up a very small portion of I'm just going to keep the room. But you're about to pick a good turnout for the session. And obviously, that's what I think is very positive. So on this webinar around power diplomacy for nonprofit living collections, in your experiences in other firms, and not just for the U.S. government, but for other nonprofit manufacturers on the versus, how can power diplomacy be leveraged by an organization to create more of these opportunities? You mentioned some of the related work with climate change. And I thought the British archaeology is a great example. But what are some areas where Guam, you think Guam has opportunities that we have not yet tapped into? That we could use for policy for that? And that's, I mean, that's why I think under-recognized not people in the community. I think even if those who are aware that Guam was pursuing a first-state global state status in the Pacific Islands, I think for, I guess, the listener it seems like a no-brainer. Pacific Islands, Guam, or Pacific Island, whatever the region is. Guam really is only qualified to be an associate with Guam was an extended member, and last year, petitioned to become an associate member. In that process, Guam first had to, get the referencing what you were talking about, the delegation of files, I don't have to basically get the approval of the State Department. And that was the question of the State Department race was, why the opportunity for Guam to counter a U.S. policy response, particularly around this, geopolitical conflict. I think that was not they did deny that Guam acknowledged that Guam had a right to engage in the peaceful forum, that it was, appropriate for Guam to have discussions with other Pacific nations, but nonetheless, they actually expressed whether or not they were willing to engage on the peaceful to speak with the government to respond in the forum. Which I think is also a very interesting discussion because this is not something that was new to the plus members either. The plus members have also in the past had situations where non-self-governing territories were made full members of the prior to obtaining a full measure of self-government. So I believe that's still the case, right? New Caledonia and Sunshine are both full members. Right. And so, I guess it was I think a very interesting kind of discussion that specifically from the discussion around the Caledonia several after the expansion with the Pope and his president earlier around the decolonization conversation. One of the just kind of gears into the innovation mechanisms for decolonization, which is something that you very well versed in. For those of you that are unaware, and I'm sure that others don't know, former introduction of Dr. Clayton, but Dr. Clayton authored the first draft of the government and first determination study for the group, in which he utilized the self-governance indicators, which is the Republican and the Conservative, to give us a better picture of current level of self-government, which is, is not as working out, I think, as a lot of people think. And I think that's also part of the challenge in the community discussions that, people view us as the outcome and say, well, we are self-government, right? We just had an election, I choose my state rules and I vote for my governor and pass the vote locally. But, the self-governance discussion is a lot more nuanced. And it's not that Guam is not self-governing, it's that Guam is not fully self-governing. And so there are acknowledgments and discussion of the study that we wrote that really, in my opinion, they commend Guam's local development. They kind of point to these areas within our government where we are very self-governing. They're almost fully self-governing, right? But no part is complete without the others and contribute to make it happen. I think that's the part of the discussion that's more nuanced, right? One, we're within the U.S. political system, simply does not have enough meaningful representation and participation to be considered fully something. And if you want to look at our study, I highly recommend it, but you have it now. We even have a condensed version of what the photos that has my content. It's not available for all of you YouTube viewers and Instagram viewers, videos. Look at how small that book is. Super easy read. It even has pictures and citations. I highly recommend it, guys. And the thing I really appreciate about the study is that it was one very comprehensive, but I think it's got something for everybody. You know, whatever it is that you are really concerned about in Guam and wonder what would the impact be if we were to change our political status, you can go directly into that section and do a deep dive and learn more about, you know, what each status means for Guam, for each status activity, really for yourself so you can make an informed decision when it comes to the political status of Guam. I was saying that I had a point where I just kind of went off and I really went off on a tangent because I started to sound more about the studies, section of the study, which is amazing. And deserves all of the recognition, I have to say. But then back into the real mechanisms and the discussions around Guam's decolonization and travel, about highlighting. One of the things that I appreciate about the process is that we get a chance to engage with other nations and to speak for ourselves, which is a rare thing I think on a global spectrum. Usually the United States doesn't first, and foreign purposes is still. The United States is a very small portion of the organization being a Senate for the United Nations. But, and, you know, and these mechanisms include an opportunity to not just engage with the United Nations, but also engage with other non-self-governing territories, and also engage in different informal consultations with other nations. So we will, and this is part of our regular work. We learned this from Dr. Melvin and our neighbors in Micronesia who have gone through the similar struggles. And just finding ways to, to benefit society. I kind of throw the Canada out, so to speak, and just ask for meetings with anyone who has taken on these services. And that has definitely changed, I think, with more recent engagement with the Pacific Islands. A lot of the nations who are members of the Pacific Islands Forum are also UN members. It feels awesome to be able to reach out tremendously. And permanent mission at the University in New York for PhD, and we thought about it already. Earlier, we talked about at the Pacific Islands Forum. How do you think other Pacific nations have utilized these to research to advance the cause of the United Nations? I know you've had a lot of experience with some plans and such about. I mean, I think it's great, I'm going to say that I've learned quite a bit about the program, and I appreciate guiding us through this process. For me, personally, it's such a blessing in the sense that, I was just a kid when long ago, and I wanted to be engaging in organizations. I'm still figuring out what's happening, which is a great thing, because, for me personally, I didn't get a chance to, I didn't get a chance to learn from Ron Available, Ron speaking about directly, one of the other routes and things like that, by Ron speaking to good friends. But, it's nice to be able to engage with people who, they're around during those times and learn these lessons directly, have these experiences. I think it's definitely a blessing and sort of that's the person as well. You are from the Virgin Islands and have such a deep connection to Guam. As of, continually contributing to the work that you experience. But my experience with the United Nations, the beginning was really just as a petition. One of the communities contributed delegation that went out and, gave testimony to the United Nations, but when we took on the role of the Commission on Decolonization, definitely requires a much more strategic approach. And so, you were one of the first people that I reached out to, among others, that one of the things that I've observed since doing this work was this kind of sense that Guam, always is living figuratively on an island. At the United Nations, when we were on we didn't let them on the question of Guam, that's our records going to be changes. So again, we deliver our testimony, at the regional seminar, there's, an invited expert. But at every engagement, the regional seminar, the 224 regulation, and the fourth committee regulation, the three engagements period, there's kind of this designated pulpit where you can speak. Usually when I go to the nations and look to talk, I go representing the government. So if the governor is able to do it herself, then she will. If not, then she sends a representative, and we deliver, essentially the message to market of state. But there are moments within the session where there are interventions, right, where members of the community can ask a question, and questions oftentimes are in the form of statements. They have a question, they're recognized by the chair, and when they ask that question, it's a full statement. And usually what happens is that the members the territories that have relationships with other member states, they have, those member states will intervene on their behalf. And so we were talking about this at the conference that when, say, the British Virgin Islands were trying to speak, a number of other sovereign Caribbean nations will intervene and say, say something in support of them. So let's get him and say something in support of them. And they turn around and give the British Virgin Islands another chance to engage with the Canadian. This extends, I guess, the consent of the territory. Now, when Guam does this, nobody intervenes on behalf of the it's a very interesting thing because the same similar thing happens with Puerto Rico. And Puerto Rico now, has not been on the list for I don't know how many years, a number of years. Yeah, like two. And Guam and Puerto Rico, 1953, it's amazing. I mean, but, it's exciting that, but, in the same breath, I think it's important to note that Puerto Rico has been very proactive in that regard. In my experience, Puerto Rico shows up every single year and kind of make the case for why they think they should be put back on the list because they never, they never change their status when movements are permanent or something. So they're establishing them, but nonetheless, when they speak, a number of other nations come to the but that's not necessarily the case with in your experience and the way that you've seen this happen, the way that this political success has been nurtured by other self-governing territories. What are some of the things that you think Guam is doing now that benefits that end or that action? What are some things our natural neighbors, partners, allies in this work? I guess within the context of what we've been discussing on this podcast. I don't know what I think about I think it's always a lot of things one people don't being a remaining nation of I think that's always part of the world so it's always exciting but also handling conversation it's first being one of the last everything. But I think that there are also opportunities for learn and to get the thing right. I really appreciated the discussion and kind of I discussed that over down there too. But he played the special with Mr. that he mentioned as well as Mr. Robinson, who was a member of the foreign ministration at that time. And he had some recollection of his work working at this time and the ways that he at the time was able to utilize strategy to get more engagement and bring resolution to the nation. He mentioned technical with different which I think was a really interesting one because we talked about at the time was also the climate. But there's also this historic connection between the Japanese community and the community in Japan. He mentioned that a lot of the initial discussions were mostly the indigenous peoples of the community that were referred to Japanese. And they utilized these cultural historical connections with this larger nation in order to advance their discussions with the United Nations. And I always thought was a fascinating aspect of Guam's situation because Guam has endured a wave of uninterrupted colonization for that century. And we have a very storied history with Spain, Japan, and the United States. Three major large nations that are very influential of the international level. But we've somehow never really been able to put it all together to resolve the situation of it. We've been dealing with the United States and its inequitable relationship for the last 127 years. There's been significant work and engagement done with the United Nations. Nonetheless, I gotta say that my observation of Guam at the United Nations is that despite all of its experience and engagement, there has been a very consistent stance for them. You mentioned earlier that you've done work at the United Nations and Guam was being represented by the Warren administration, by the Charles administration, the Carter administration. So you went from a Republican administration now back to a Democratic administration. I always thought that was really ironic that Guam has maintained a very consistent political identity, no personality, as you put it, in regard to self-government and decolonization, no matter what political party is kind of in power at that time. How do you see this work with other non-self-governing territories? And what do you think is the benefit of having those kind of consistency from administration to administration in the country? If you go, I just noticed that we have a fellow on here that wants to join in on the conversation. That's probably okay to take a photo. Really good. We have found how can we find you on here with us? Yes, cool. So that's not out of that now, but I was looking at it. There was no mental calculation. Thank you for the phone. I mean, I gotta say, that's really nice. I've been there in the room when the history was discussed. It was a very contentious and heated issue. And I guess I think that points to the history. There was a discussion was after the debate about the history. And, you know, uh, 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 Okay, I think for me, that's the value. A lot of people really like to be criticize, participation of organizations and conversation. But, for me, it's been a great learning experience, being able to attend the forum, attend the session, to listen in on the discussions between the other non-self governing territories and the international community. Um, I myself am not very educated on the Melvin temporary issue. But I've definitely learned a lot. I know a lot more about it than I did before I attended. And I appreciate the discussion. I think that's, just getting I guess when I focus on this, being able to do the work for when I think about that issue in particular, even the discussion on Latino suffrage is much more expansive than the one on there. Oftentimes the conversation on one is very much just a way of deliver the statement we prepared for the governor. Um, there's no questions or further discussion, and then we move on to the next agenda item. Which is a different thing, other nations like the Mozilla Falcon education. There are a number of different perspectives. There are, other nations that were engaged, like Argentina. Honestly, sometimes the UK will send their representatives. But, I think that the more that we have these discussions together, appreciate you making time to come on here with us and have this discussion, and even for that, your perspective and your participation in the discussion. I think that's the awesome thing about this, this format, this medium, is that, we get a chance to unpack some of these issues, put the community involved. I just want to say for everybody out there who's listening, who's interested, there are a number of ways that you can get involved at a regional and international level. The first time I ever went out to the UN, I was a public school teacher at Southern High School. And I don't think of the UN, I don't think that was the avenue was available to me. But, I just ended up connecting with people in my community and figured out as well as an effort to put a delegation together and send people out to the United Nations to, make a statement on grounds decolonization. And, this is possible for, people in the community who are willing to engage, interested in doing work for advance for themselves. And we got a lot of friends and allies all over the place, including Dr. Corbin and other experts, UN experts, who have shared their knowledge and expertise with us. So, thank you, Dr. Corbin, for making time for us. I really appreciate it, not just for being on the air with us today, but also for the work that you've done on our self-determination study, participating in the 2025 Political Conference. You've been doing this conference with us since 2019. I just said, I did it for look back. The first Political Conference was in 2019, and it was a really excellent engagement. We had some counterparts from other non-self-governing territories, including the U.S. Virgin Islands, American Samoa. It was a really great time. So, in Puerto Rico. So, thank everyone who attended the conference. If you did not get a chance, we broadcasting one of the raw footage and trying to get some video out so that you folks can get some conference knowledge. Even if you were too busy working your 9 to 5, it's a difficult thing that we do in the middle of the week. But we're really working hard to get this experience with the rest of our community to join it. So, thank you again, Dr. Corbin, for being here with us. I appreciate your time and your expertise. For all of you out there who are interested and would like to learn more, visit us at decal.guam.gov. You can follow us at Guam COD on Instagram and the Commission on Decolonization on Facebook. We're happy to work with you and get you some. Have a great day, everyone, and enjoy your week. Enjoy. different brand and a different flavor. So why did just Melvin? Melvin with the little lady, a distillery, and the flavor that is outside of flavor, which is exactly as you have around. Just work with the consent and non-labor. And the riddle is what's a little custom riddle game. It wasn't just based on the way you learn it. So it's not to show you what it is. It was a thing. Is it fascinating? Or not? Do you just remember one of the times? If you think it's this thing with the knowledge, not as many personalities as you want, and another the one. Because different personalities is personality and online. That's all right. And I think that's it. What do I say? Hopefully everyone recognizes the families as far as go. Just putting in the right areas, driving right up the way. There's options on the commission and decolonization. Our friends over at Greenfields, Wave 105.1 FM. And we're in the studio talking talk about the Southeastern Conference, which just happened last week. Right before Mother's Day, we better just remember some lawmakers from first Mother's Day next time. Okay, but at the same time, I'm not totally showed up with a super pumped about it. I'm like bugging out for it. But we've been having a fun show so far. This morning in the first block, we interviewed guest Dr. Paul October, who is an international decolonization expert. Really from the U.S. region. He was actually one of the lead scholars in the Human Self-Determination Study, which you can get online digital format at detail.ground.org, or you can reach out to our office on Instagram or Facebook and use it. But this second half of this we're going to be talking a little bit, recapping conference action, but I'm excited to introduce some of our in-studio talent. We managed to survive into the studio. We have worked working with theater companies. So I want to welcome Borja, who is the artistic director, and Dana Fairmont, who is the director and member of working with theater companies. Mr. Dana, thank you for coming in, both of you. It's nice to have you in the studio. All right. So, this was kind of a happy accident, having you guys not just in the field at the conference. So let me just give a little bit of story. So every year when we do the conference, of course, this is a pretty academic and heavy discussion. So we really tried our best to kind of prepare some of the experiments, some of the a little bit more lighthearted, still thematically tied, of course, relevant. And so usually these things were musical, so we try to get like we tried to perform at the conference this year, which is great. We got Pablo to do some members there, and especially we like these local acts because they make music around issues that are related to this discussion, which is always important. We think we cannot overstate the value of art music and people's music. And so we just we're like in the search of getting everything ironed out for the student conference, and then having ironed out for my staff assistant prior to having a balance of getting voted down during the conference. The harmony hits me with this in the final dance. So I do that. So harmony is friends with people, who's also very instrumental in the work of the conversation. He's very kind of a harmony. We're harmony but to be able to do something, I'm not seeing anything. So I went to Seattle, and I remember the feeling from support Seattle was a very important discussion. One of my workers at G3, so we have to make sure we're getting gotta be. Actually. So, we understand, my speech life decided that they wanted to, that was one of the breakouts that they wanted to film, guys were doing personal. And so, I didn't think, it was like triple duty experience, so I was like Gene planning, and like, every break I could get on. So, they got a chance to see the show or not. I was super excited about it. So, when we goes to back for the guys, right? Like, so we started out the format is going to go, right now. So we are already kind of spinning the, that's not my journey, so by the time we got where we were at, I really like, I was like, we gotta make sure that we have, I wanted to make sure that we had enough engagement time for the panelists and the rest to show up and engage in these discussions in order to make sure that, we weren't cutting it short. Sometimes that's easy to make it. And so, we're running a very lean lineup in the Harmony Play. Because I know I performed this so well. What do you guys think? Okay, but I don't think that's it. But it's serious hardcore. These guys know. Yeah, I know. That's so smart. We're only going to do the thing if it's going to be relevant, right? So, super automatic decolonization is very dynamic. It's kind of like an microphone. I was like, okay, thank you guys. We're going to do this, right? And so, I'm just putting my hands on it. We're going to do things that are coming on to maybe like 30 minutes. And I thought, okay, cool. And so we're over here knocking the whole thing out, right? And then Steve goes by my shit, so I guess he goes to do it, confirm whatever it is. Just like every year. Awesome. Here's the thing. My team was super gung-ho about this. And so we're gonna make it work. We gotta do it like we gotta do it. Thankfully, my team is super smart and they don't do all the dialogue on website conferences when you get like a Friday conference with it. But I can share the conference and we could down the conference. I don't think my actually conference book. Because he's trying to help me. So we all thought they were like, can you please have like a half pager? And we just did it right down the line. So like, everybody here is good because we could afford to go down an hour on the front, which is awesome. So needless to say, we did all this stuff, and it worked out. And I gotta say that people, I got a lot of really good feedback. But anything else, even like content, like you understand that, just one thing that you're going to do. And then you're like, oh, this one's over here, what do you say about it? It's not like we have a lot of really good feedback throughout, but people are really emotionally engaged with the presentation so everything. And so I was excited when I found you mentioned and that it's 2023, just as thank you. And as a man, I really want to go from the whole to do. I want to do the very best. What I'm just doing is questions that are food to carry, and I'm just like totally winging it. But I wanted to give you guys a chance because you are actually almost the last place to do papers were encouraged about how the organizations came together. But I wanted to give you an opportunity, like, kind of give a little, of what the story is. Why you felt like this was an important engagement. I want to recognize on the whole thing, person, and they like attended the whole conference. I was going to do some stuff, and I was going to do a thing where it was like a really cool bit, but really don't do that. Thank you for doing that. So, so anything else I'd like to know is maybe we could start with this. What was breaking away? What do you guys do? How do people, learn more about you? So basically, I think that you work in one place where one of my things right here, and one place where I think and the whole thing is, sometimes it's not like work for anything to do with it. Like, if anything happens on time, we need to work to make it work for us, to make it work for us. So we can just have education and learning that enough. The opportunity for that to accelerate the work that I want to put better. In addition to that, we will open the online industries and look at the narrative from everyone in the world, give them an opportunity to connect to what the things that they want to people. That way has been self-development, status quo, and what it's kind of really a lot of work for the people. Now, it's a whole system for me to see how to have a possible of main action for help and sometimes to what I want to talk about this element is kind of the first I'm looking for check my own This is the first kind of balance on what do we look like when we really take narrative from a very important part that we come from the perspective of bringing in qualification, but taking a step to and create and we want to let these science which is forward is whatever connection coming from the mindset and coming from the relationship. And it's the think about really percent. So we're going to put them and change the way we have our society. So that's what we're saying. It's just not something that changes. We have to say that there's a specific people what uses the practice. And it doesn't feel good. It's just and we try to see the context of the because this is and we're going to not just learn about other people that are trained and more credible. And so it would be very secure if you were first kind of tools that knowledge to the knowledge and yes, use the tools that so we talk about the more things you have personal connection for more personal use. And a lot of people like Pacific Islanders or cricket. Everything that we know and learn and understand going through the public stories and stories of public histories, our fundamental truths and things. And I mean, older before a little older platform, the very much the human civilization for centuries. But Pacific peoples in particular, I think, really gravitate towards in terms of historical culturally relevant. And it's nice to see that we are breaking away with really complex fulfilling these values of locally generated knowledge, which I think is a very important thing. Again, I'm a favorite too. I'm not just going to hold on about it. My wife says it's not the easy one. It's not the easy thing. Yeah, when I was a young kid, my first experience with theater was 6 or 7 times. There was a kid, my age, that was killed he ended up board riding and family or something. He had like a press stop and there was just something in the past, like one man that ended up backing his car into one of the police vehicles. The people followed with his foot in his life. Like, there was a something that, the community, and that's the reason why we're destinies in the world. And living with that, anyway, this was the first time that somebody got a gun or something like that. There was a group that put together this effort to bring a bunch of ministry students together. Just, we basically did like this, like this, and it was so kind of cool. Ironically, not like some of my people, because so fascinating stuff back in that at that time. But really, really interesting time, and I felt like it was a great experience for me, even though I was, it was a really great experience. And then I ended up doing theater again, like in the state theater when I was in high school. I was in a musical though, so it was still musical. I was in I was in the King and I was working on West Side Story. So, yeah. I'll give you one good promise. I was great a Puerto Rican dance. I was okay. But yeah, and then there's 2 hours appreciated what the theater program did for young people. And it's tough, now, the theater still that, but there's obviously, I think, in the community for other avenues and other people to get involved. And I think it's cool about what we've been discussing is this deliberate approach they can go to create music. We're not just performing the thing that you would do in your high school in your place, or the version of, we're not going to see high school musical for you guys watch this thing. That's what's happening, right? That's okay. That's okay. Maybe like starting high school musical, can you get that? Can you get that? Which is fantastic, and I love that. I think also, I love that you're saying that, this play comes from, self-generated minds, right? Numbers came together as a founder created this, sparked up and executed on the script. Honestly, there's impact, like the Daddy, those exercises, one of the, he's a board member for the other foundation. He's a, one-time supporter when we do things to the conference. I can't bring the back and she's trying to stretch her legs. Towards the end of the first performance, if you go to your house and she's like, I appreciate this one. I appreciate this very kind of really nice. That's so powerful. You have to figure out where you can get these guys out there. My mom is so helpful. But, there was a lot of similar sentiments from the viewing audience. I think that a lot of people were excited about the deliberate connection between musicians. I think I'm just going to be on a project. I think that I love that a lot of people get going with climate change and sustainability, protecting the environment. But at the same time, I feel like it's such a safe culture. Who doesn't want clean water? Who doesn't want to figure out how to not go to oil or building? So I think that it's a very kind of accessible solution. I don't think for the same thing for decolonization. I think that there's a lot of misconception that surrounds decolonization and the conversation around it. So, I think that a lot of people forget to be apprehensive when it comes to it. And so, logically, when we go into these climate change, sustainability, environmental protection spaces, and we're over here decolonization, we're like the crazy people, which I get, I totally understand. But, I gotta say that, this has been something that we've been very deliberate about and kind of challenge these misconceptions. And it's cool to see you guys come into this space where there's obviously, the climate change issue is at the forefront. But it's awesome to have that happen and decolonization didn't take a back seat. It was kind of like, no, we're going to ride this thing, which I thought was really cool. Especially because we had a lot of that elements, particularly from the episode Ray Regulatory. By the way, is a traditional navigator, and there's a lot of great stuff in terms of decolonizing education and creating a different experience for young people, really bringing them back to our identity and our cultures. But, like I said, tomorrow, our mind is up with this, very, helpful, magnificent way, and leveraging the environmental issues, recognizing that you cannot just say, these mechanisms and islands don't have a place in this discussion. Whether we'll put government out, they have a place in, right? they're being delivered and saying, yeah, we're going to go ahead on this, but we're trying to decolonization, everything. And that's a big part of it, the root of it. So I definitely appreciated it, and I thought it was a happy accident that we kind of, found this fit. But, it's something that I think was meant for a lot of people, it resonated with a lot of people. A lot of people, really were responsive to the messages. I can personally attest that there was a lot of rich conversation happening around the current and also the issues and the intersection between the two conversations. That's a lot of people that are talking. I gotta go back to, I'm fairly sorry you guys listening audience. I have a plan. This is the plan, and I've worked on winging it because it's been an awesome discussion. But I do want to say, I want to give you a chance to go a little bit deeper into reading out which explores the climate change crisis through Guam's history, unlocking the roots of climate change and colonization, militarization, and capitalism, like you mentioned. I wanted to ask, could you expand on some of the connections that your crew has made in the kind of building and conceptualizing of this place? What are some of the connections between climate change and Guam's history of colonization? What are some of the moments, I guess, in history that have informed or inspired the way that you place it on this place? It's just like the time weapon. They mentioned this in the beginning of the conversation. There was a point when Guam was very deliberately, strategically pursuing Panama, and they were just set the board doing every single day Guam letterhead said Panama again. And I always used to think, what does it take for us to get back to a point, right, where we're rallying around this idea? And of course, we're a little different now, right, because we're not that often on the days of forever. The people are trusting us, and we want that stuff. It's different than right now. Now we're running children of strategy. We could rally around decentralization, right? And we can rally around, some other self-determination. I think that, just taking the hard-line stances, right? These are the things that are working for us. I really appreciated, there's always more, there's always great value in having different layers and levels and concepts of the space. And for me, our major, people movement start with there's more in the technology thing that's how they love to work through. And there's, it's undeniable the role that art, music, theater, creativity, the role that they play in the society and helping us to evolve and be important. Some people, it's difficult for them to have a discussion or have a conversation. But, through some other creative medium, it's like they find, this deep, very real, passionate connection between people. And I always thought that that's really the key for any community that is the art. Not always like this is important to me. It's just about kind of the important data statistics. We have that's why we do that. It's important to have this base of information, that carefully the accuracy of our information and the validity of the information, right? That kind of goes away. And now we can exist in this space where, our foundation is solid. We're not just kind of making things up, right? We're taking into account our history and things that we've done, the ways that we've grown, and all these math and thought and effects and impacts and all that, right? We've got all that going on. And now it's like, we got all this information, but I don't people are hunting with that. I don't need to learn more about this. But, when people are exposed to different mediums and talking in a different way, it goes to one of these actors that are playing a presence or maybe open, where's the book? They heard something that attracted them, it motivated them to learn more about the thing. And I appreciated that there were a lot of different experts that came to for each other. One of the things kind of spoke in the conversation. There were people who were there because their focus was on the economy. The people who are there because their focus is on the environment and the climate change. People there who live there and purely pure politics, whether every day as part of our conflict, part of our government. And I think it's often the whole such a diverse collection of people having a discussion around a very important issue and recognizing that there's so many ways and so many ways that they're connected and they're doing kind of what in this society. One of the things I think when people who do this, there are a lot of people who know. People who listen to yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. Let's be real, people roll out at the end of the conference. And it's inevitable. After months, August, you need to build up a deadline. Yeah, it's a problem. things that we find and all these things that we've done in the community, the work around the infrastructure, the protection, the things that we find in all the essays with all the criminals and prisoners. That's a question all the time. Well, yeah, we want to be this one that's so bad, how are we going to put together in the economy without all these other dollars, But then those things just, the same thing is going in a very similar economic reality as well. That are self-sustaining. And the thing that really gets me the hardest, I think, is you mentioned this earlier that, Guam, it wasn't that long ago that Guam was like fully self-sustaining. And it didn't take that long from Guam to go from fully self-sustaining to almost completely independent. I mean, it's just like that can't happen unless there's a deliberate strategy in place. You can see, the remnants of the Colonial Empire, things that we deal with on every day, right? Like the Guns Act. The Guns Act only exists because there's a legal framework to kind of discriminate one group from another. We got a call. I want to get to it because this is talk radio yesterday. We could get into the conversation. The number is 923-1051 or 1052, but right now we have Anita Barras on the air. Hello, Anita, how are you? Thank you, Anita. I appreciate it. Thank you for the call and thanks for the kind words for recognizing the company. I just want to, we are coming up on the end of the second hour of the show. But I wanted to give maybe some Jason Wave an opportunity to promote what's next. Just for anyone out there that's interested in reading Outdoor Summer, it is streamable on Spotify, Apple Music, and other major digital streaming platforms. So if you have not got one of your world and you're wondering what one of these awesome songs are, you can hear them and find them on Spotify, Apple Music, and other major platforms. There's also a website, bwtcguam.com, that you can go out to. I want to give both of you an opportunity to talk about what's next, where people can see you next, how do they get in touch with you, how do they get involved?
I was going to say thank you for your comments and that's the whole point. So the reason why we do this is to reach people in this whole communication and it's not all the system. Yeah, so we were not just saying that we were trying to things, the people physically and then like schools and the community, we can feel from the website where what do we teach us online and Instagram and whenever you have a family, we can do it for the national system. So there's two other things that we do that they find is when they do over everywhere and so that's just not sort of like the reason why we like, wow, we can just do things into places that we're performing that. It's just a little bit more than 600 people. I'll tell you how, if you want us to kind of improve the work and then randomly, coming this down, I think we want to bring that to the schools and move into the community, and I can see that as I said, it's like every year we bring it to the last point, so the last one point, you know, I think for us to follow is just again another opportunity to have conversations and people know that you know, I feel like people can look for home and see radio music, information and spoken things about mental health. What's actually most things are when you want to folks that have written a poem, so what's good for the music, people get together, that's different than putting it down. The purpose of doing an announcement on the corporate process level, and the house that's for you, and the student and in person are free, people in the community members, because it's kind of like writing for over what writing and teach them what we know. Well, I think it's great. This is definitely a category community that has to be spaces where curators can connect and utilize not to be deliberately. That was one of the things that I'm kind of hoping is going to be like around for the ride and how he felt it feel was, how do we deliver messages to people collectively? I think there's great value in kind of, the way that we leverage art and music and, in concert with all of these things. Even for us at the Commission of Decolonization, we do a trip kind of a deep dive main approach, so, we have to do it, right? The research got to be tight, for sure. But that was one of the nice, byproducts of it, whereas we invested so much time and energy into ensuring that we have this foundation of information that's in the public. It's not, it's not just all limited to Google. We do that anyway. And then once we go into this space, we felt confident in our foundation. How do we recognize it? How do we get it out there? We did a couple cool projects that I'm really excited about. Like, one of which is around the upkeep is the collaboration with Movie Films. Movie Films produced for us two really great short films that were really used as production advertisement, right? They're like 1 minute films, really concise and to the point. So the whole purpose was to be delivered about an emotional movement. I'm not just talking about the broken back to the sitting with the two and talking about the vision where it's up in the ceiling. I'm not that necessarily these guys. So I was, I remember if you haven't seen that film, the short film done by Indian partnership with Department of Ed, right? Like I know we focus on like making a full invasive species,
the emotional anchor, right? The primary message was, what kind of manifestation will you do? And a lot of it, like others, like, these powerful images of like young people, what they have now, what they plan to be. So just super, just, caught up in the between, we have absolutely tried our best to create these pockets for the can. But this is not, this is unfortunately me and Brian and Harvey and I are going to go and like make this a perfect set of them and there's enough musical to do. Necessary for us to identify partners in our community, but all super game super capable of doing this. So thank you to both of you. And by the way, I got the list too. I gotta do the necessary obligatory product to the food. So we have the list, so I'm ready to go. We will not host comment is created by Borja and Venus Formal, who are here with us in studio, Borja, Ian Perry, Hannah Onion, Joseph Simon now, Nicholas, Sinatra, Simon Dean, Nicholas, Simon C. Ariasi, and CJ Mustafa. Joyce is the director, and the assistant director is Jenny, and CJ and James, everyone are the producers. The Canadians are Cochran. Okay, I know everybody else on you guys. This is a pretty interesting thing. They came in, they got their lighting, their own sound. I mean, it was impressive. I think for me, I can help someone organize and stuff, so you guys don't require anybody to hold your hand. It's kind of straight this is where you guys are. I mean, the good device for me. Super awesome. I hope that if you are inspired, that you reach out to them. Hopefully you can get them into your space. It'd be awesome. I highly recommend it. I had a great review from it at the Financial Conference. And we definitely look forward to next time that we can work together. Thank you, Sarah. Sarah is from your crew. This is your last day, that's it. This is your moment. If you forgot anybody, we'll do it now. Anyway, thank you both for being here with us. We appreciate it. We appreciate your time. And thanks to everybody who tuned in, running this in the crowd. Thanks to the crowd that's the program for being on the air with us in the first hour. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and we look forward to seeing you again next week Monday from 10 to noon. Every Monday on Wave 105.1 FM. Have a great day, everyone. Again.